What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Saina Wynn, and you have tuned in to another awesome episode of Cosigns and Tangents. I may be your friend, I may be your foe, I don't know. But all I know is that I'm so excited to have one of my close personals, friends, Philip. And I was going to let him introduce. Well, no, I'm going to say this because he told me not. He said he wasn't going to do it. My friend Philip, pre PhD. And he is just one of my great friends, and he's just agreed to let me just talk to him at nauseum for an hour. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Booth.
Hey, what's up? What's up? As she said, I'm Philip, and I am just a young black millennial from the South and getting ready to make this new journey to start graduate school to earn a PhD in education and leadership and hopefully teach some black students. Actually, all students, because everybody needs to know black history, but yeah, hopefully have opportunity to educate some people along the way.
Yes, I'm so excited because he is one of the smartest black people I know. Probably
Uh-oh.
next to Jennifer, because you and Jennifer are kind of like my little aficionados. I'm like, y'all smart,
Oh, thank you.
but I feel
Because
like if
I
we
don't feel that
all
way.
I honestly feel like if we all were to combine forces like Captain Planet, we could probably make this world just even a better place. So I just
Love that.
put that out there in the universe.
Love that.
Yes. So how are we doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I just finished a workout, so my allergies did not act up,
Praise.
and I'm feeling good. The dopamine is flowing. Like I'm really good. My needs are met. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. So what are some of Philip's needs? Let's go into it.
Yeah, needs. I mean, when I say needs, I mean it more like my bills are paid.
Hmm.
I actually dropped the dog off, so the dog has gotten a bath. That was definitely a need because the dog
Okay.
sleeps with me. So, um, yeah, I mean, yeah, those are just for me my basic needs. I have shelter, I have food. I just finished eating
Hmm.
dinner, so yeah, those are my needs, my basic needs.
You sound very balanced and just ready to just meet the day for Monday and start.
Not at all. Not at all. No,
Okay.
I'm just yeah. Monday
We're
will
here.
come, but right now I'm trying to live
Right.
in Sunday. I have so much stuff to do tonight in terms of like paperwork, which
Hmm.
we'll probably get into that later. But yeah,
Gotcha. And so you're just working on being intentional and staying present in where you
I
are.
am.
That's what it
I
sounds like.
am. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
new. That's actually That's like one of my big things for this year is just to like be intentional and like you said, being present because I don't know, like ever since I've been in corporate America, everybody always rushes for the weekend, and I'm like,
Hmm.
man, do we really just like rush our lives away? You know what I mean? Because it's like, I guess you can take it back to college, really. I mean, it's like, okay, you're in school. It's like, when are you going to graduate? You graduate, then it's like, okay, if you're married or like if you're seeing somebody, they're just like, hey, when y'all going to get married? Like, it's like all these like benchmarks, I guess, along the way. And I'm just like, but can't we just like live in the moment? So like, I've made it a point to just, yeah, live today, and we'll go. Tomorrow will take care of itself. So,
Hmm.
but yeah,
And
yeah.
that's definitely something that I'm trying to learn to do as well. And have you noticed like a difference in your, because I know we discussed like mental health, like
Hmm.
anxiety and like depression. And so has that helped you kind of balance with your anxiety at all?
I think so, yeah, because I mean, there's a scripture actually in the Bible that just talks about like not worrying about tomorrow because your worrying cannot change tomorrow. And it's just like, that's true. Like, there's no matter
Right.
what I do, I cannot change tomorrow's outcome. And so let me be grateful for today because that's all I have is the present, as they say. So
Right.
I think it's helped me, but I will
Right.
say that it you have to be intentional. So it's
And
so
it
easy
takes
to just kind of like
practice.
it does take practice. So you fall back and
Hmm.
just do your old stuff. So yeah, you do have to be intentional for sure.
Right. Well, I know we just kind of jumped in it, so let's give the audience just a little bit of who we are, how we know each other.
Yeah.
M- Me and Philip actually go way back. about 3 years
Crazy.
back. But we went to the same college, did
We
never
did.
meet ever.
Never.
Did and
Nope.
never meet until we actually worked. Well, okay, so we're gonna make it kind of real. So we met a couple of times before. We met at a friend's going away party, and
Hmm.
then we met again at our friend's homegoing party. So, and
Which is
if you don't
bananas.
know what that means, right now, I just thought about that. I'm like, man, we met at certain different spectrums of her life
Yeah.
and at
Yeah.
the end of her life. And so
Yeah.
we actually met again at one of our best friends, Tabitha's funeral. And I knew of you because she talked so highly of you. You were like one of her best friends. And so we didn't see each other again probably for like another year until we started working at the same job.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
Yeah.
right. And so from that point on, I felt like we kind of stuck to each other like glue. Or I did. I know I was like, this
Yeah.
man cool.
We did, especially in like the environment that we were at work. So, I mean, the audience really doesn't know, but like, yeah, we were like one of, I don't know,
A few,
a
like a
few. Yeah,
handful.
it wasn't a lot. So, of course, you do
Right.
gravitate towards the people that are like you. So,
Right. And so we just kind of had that extra bond that we knew each other through a
hmm,
mutual friend. And so, like, we always would have lunches and just be so ghetto
and out of order.
and out of order, which I love because, like, and so I feel like the majority of my audience may be African American. So, you know what we mean by ghetto. Like, we laugh loud in the atrium. We will
Yeah.
get up and run from the table. We will just
Yeah.
be in our own worlds and just do not care. Like, we'll talk about politics, we'll talk about
Yeah.
race, we'll talk about life, and just
We'll talk about work.
be work. We'll just be super dumb for that full hour.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Like, I truly miss those
I do
times of
too.
just like hanging out. So and so I'm kind of glad like I know what I'm gonna name this episode. I just realized. Hanging in the atrium. Going back to the atrium.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's definitely for us. If you know, you know. So kind of getting back, let's just kind of talk about like how we
Yeah.
were back in the atrium times or
Mm.
act like we back in the atrium. So we talked about how we are in the present. So I want to kind of get with you because one of my main goals for this podcast is just I love talking to Black men and getting their perspective on mental health. So we definitely already talked about like staying present, but can you talk with us about just some of the ways that you struggle with your mental health and some of the ways that you've been working on your mental health and getting better with it?
I think I can answer that like backwards because I think I'm I'm still struggling with like trying to get into I guess the way of like understanding mental health really because I
Right.
think pre-pandemic I didn't necessarily I felt like I didn't really I don't know tap into that part of myself just because I think you're just always on the go so you just never really take that time to kind of like self-assess so
Right.
I think I'm still like on that journey to like finding maybe like what that looks like for me in terms of like, is this a thing? Like, how do I find a therapist? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I think I'm still on that journey. I don't know if I've arrived yet. I don't think I have. So
Mm. But do you feel like you're still kind of working towards that, or you're still kind of
yeah,
like in that limbo, like trying to figure it out?
yeah. Like I am trying to figure it out in terms of
Hmm.
finding yeah finding somebody. I think I mean we kind of already talked about like graduate school. So like I just don't know what that would look like once I enter graduate school in the fall. Like, okay,
Hmm.
well, I have, because like right now I have the resources, right? But like when August comes and I'm like a grad student with a much less amount of pay, when August
Oh yeah.
comes, it's just like, how does that work? So I thought about like, okay, maybe I can like do some sessions before school. And then
Hmm.
like, I don't know, like, because I do have some money saved. So I was like, maybe I can like do a session like a month you know, we'll see. But I am trying to figure out what that looks like. But I, with everything going on, I haven't been able to like nail something down right now.
Gotcha. It's part of self care. That's one thing I can tell you for unsolicited advice because you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna give you my 2 cents. It's part of self care and you need to get that EAP dog to get them 6 sessions
I know.
off that
I really
company's
do.
head. Get
I,
that.
I
Go ahead
do.
and get them squeezing for all they worth.
I do. Seriously. I mean, I really do.
Hmm.
I was like, I need to find a moment, really. I just need to find a moment. After the 15th, I'll be able to kind of like breathe a little
Think
bit
about it
more.
again.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, we'll
Well, I'm gonna
reassess.
set a reminder. I'm gonna set a reminder and make sure I hit you up like EAP dog. Get that
Thank you.
EAP. Yes, because the reason why I'm a big proponent, because again, like we said, we worked at the same place, and I'm like
Yeah.
you. I didn't do therapy until COVID really hit,
Hmm.
and because we had so much time, like we really. The one thing I'm thankful for COVID, it kind of made us sit our asses down, and because we had nowhere else to
That
go.
it did. Hmm. Hmm.
And so I was like, well, I guess I need to get some therapy because it got real cold off in the streets. We were just, it was real hard.
It was a lot was going on. I mean,
Man,
aside from the
yeah.
pandemic, people were being killed,
Hmm.
and
Right.
it was traumatic. So yeah,
It was hella traumatic. And I remember we
yep.
talked a lot about that. So
Hmm.
can you talk, can I get your opinion just as a
Yeah.
Black man,
Hmm.
how that affects you? How seeing the countless, disregard for Black bodies. I'm going to make it real heavy.
Yeah.
Does that affect you as a Black man?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who it would not affect. I mean, I think that's the thing. Like when you work in like corporate America and your coworkers don't necessarily see that because they can look at the things that are happening in the world and like set it down, but like I can't do that as a Black man, like in America, like with all these people, excuse me, being murdered. I mean, yeah, it does impact you because that's me. I'm man. When Ahmad was jogging, like that was so like that was frightening to me actually because I'm like I jog all the time
Right.
um, in my neighborhood, and it's like I don't know who sees me as a threat. For the audience who doesn't know, I mean, I have like long hair, like long locks, and I mean, you don't know what people are thinking. And sometimes you pass people with these Trump stickers or even like a Confederate flag, right? Like I don't know what these
Right.
people are thinking, but yeah, it does. It did impact me, and it still does impact me because I mean, if I'm at a red light and a cop pulls up, yes, it's that that fight or flight in you. So heart is racing, like, and I'm not riding dirty. Like I'm like I have my insurance, my tags
Hmm.
are together. I don't drive like a messed up car, but even if I did like drive a messed up car, like that shouldn't be something that would like make you a target either. So yeah,
Right.
it does impact me. Yeah, it does for sure.
Right. So, what are some of the things that you find yourself doing in 2020 that
Whew.
that kind of helped you along the way to kind of get through? Because I know, like, I
Yeah.
think I called you. I think, oh, no, I called you. Like, I burned up the Cisco phones at work, just being like, "Can I call you for like 10 minutes?" And 30 minutes later, we
Yeah.
just still talk. I was a
Yeah.
terrible employee, and I brought you down with me.
she she wasn't. She was not a terrible employee, y'all.
That's sweet of you to say, but
I mean,
how about this? I can have my moments. How about that?
and we all do. That's the thing. We all
We all
do.
do.
A lot was
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
happening. So like,
It
if
was
they can have grace for you, like I don't know, man. Like
right,
aside from the pandemic, again, people were being murdered. Like that,
right,
and it was like
and
broadcasted on television, national television, and that,
constantly.
yeah.
Yes,
So that impacts you.
exactly. So, like, did you have any things like with that going on? Did you have any things
Hmm.
that kind of that grounded you? Like, how did you seek help, or how did you maintain? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I did that a myriad of ways. So we talked about like self help. Like for me, exercise is just extremely important to me. Like I realize that I may not necessarily enjoy the activity of me like working out, but after I work out, like I have like a clear head. I'm able to
Mhm.
just I don't know do more. So like that was one thing, that was paramount for me. The second thing was just being able to have an outlet. So being able to talk to people like you, I have some other close friends that who are black, and I could just like be like, hey, are y'all feeling the same way? Like I needed the sounding board. So I had people like that in my life that I could like be honest with and authentic with when it came to things like that and how I was feeling, and that definitely helped, and definitely my faith, like
Mhm.
being able to kind of wrestle with some of those things. Uh, that helped me. Yeah, a lot actually. So yeah, those three things for sure.
Yeah. What are some of the things like with your faith that helped you get through the pandemic and just in life in general? Just because
Man, yeah.
I don't think we have like a super in depth. Well, we kind of do. I don't know. We kind of
Yeah.
we tip our toe in it. I love hearing you talk about it because I know one thing God has always done for me is surrounded me with very beautifully strong people who are Christians who
Mhm.
identify with God to me in the most authentic of ways. And so you're one of them.
Oh
So
wow. Oh, thank you.
yeah. Well, you're welcome. I don't know if I told you that, but here you go.
Thank you.
Surprise! This is me heaping praise upon you.
Tell me how you really feel. Okay.
I know, like that's my friend. He was a really good guy, and also, ladies, he's single.
Hey,
Okay,
I'm
I
in these
might take
streets,
that
ladies.
out. Okay, I keep that in. I keep that in. I pump them up. Pew, pew, pew. We'll talk about that later after you tell me about your faith.
Wait. So what was the question again? You said
I
what about
forgot.
my faith?
So yeah, tell us just some of the things that you do. That how does your faith keep you grounded,
Oh, okay.
and how?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that that you go to kind of keep you
Hmm.
going mentally? Because I know, like I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday that
Hmm.
is mental health and his faith are completely integral to keeping him
Hmm.
going. So,
Hmm.
like, what are some of the ways that that you express your faith that keeps you going?
Um, I mean, I express my faith in a lot of ways. I mean, my faith is extremely important to me, so it informs a lot of my decision making.
Mhm.
It informs like my work ethics too. Um, but I mean, I guess I express that like in various ways. I mean, I express it at work, like so I'm not naturally, which I can't believe I'm saying this on a podcast, but like you know this about me.
Uh-oh.
Like I don't
Okay.
necessarily like I'm not the person that's always like, hey, how you doing? Like blah 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 blah. Like I'm not really just like that. But like me expressing my faith looks like showing kindness to somebody that I would not normally do. Like it's just
Mhm.
not natural for me because I'm selfish. Like I just sometimes I don't want to talk. Sometimes I just want to like go to work and then not talk to anybody. But something inside of me, which I identify that as like the Holy Spirit. It's just like okay, yeah, you
Mhm.
can like say hey to this person or smile at this person, like um, so yeah. I mean, it expresses itself in those ways. So me being at work, I mean, I pray a lot. I read my Bible. Um, that kind of yeah, that informs what I do too,
Yeah.
because like some of the, I mean, it's human stories in the Bible, and we haven't evolved from being human, so those things are
Mhm.
still like relevant for today because yeah, I mean we're human, so
Right.
that's another
Because
way
it.
that I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was just gonna say that's just another way that we are able to show Christ really, but yeah.
Right. Can I ask you, like, with being a person of such strong faith, is that
Hmm.
something that you find that hard wanting to like do therapy, or did you find that like, or did you find it easier because you were a man of faith that to want to get therapy or to look into your mental health like that, like now, how a lot of people are doing now?
Yeah, which is so crazy because like I've seen so many like, and I know everybody's story is different, but like I've seen so many stories where faith and therapy are like polar opposites, and that was just such a foreign concept to me because
Mhm.
I mean God created these people and He's gifted these people with the ability to kind of essentially walk through life. So why would you not be able to go to a professional? To me that just seemed weird. But I know a lot of people have struggled with that, but like not me. Like it was one of those things. I was like, oh yeah, I'm down to like try something like that, And which again, we're trying to make that step. But yeah, I'm definitely open to doing something like that. But yeah, it's not anything that I was afraid to try or I thought was like, oh, I can't do that. Like, yeah, none of that.
Because I feel like we typically, as a people, are now like as Black people, we're getting to the point where slowly. I think it's
Say it.
because you said right. Because I feel slowly we're getting, especially our generation, like the millennial
Hmm.
generation, is starting to
Yeah.
step away from that old way of thinking of like no one can be in our business or why do you need to know that,
Yeah.
and starting to embrace like alternative ways of living and an
Yeah.
alternative and actually emoting. I think that's one thing because
That's
me and
big.
you talked about this a lot. We're going to talk about slavery. So I think I mentioned the 1619 project.
Whew. Lord have
And
mercy.
right, I feel like that was like podcast wise, that's when me started bonding. And I was like, bruh, you gotta listen to this podcast. Or I don't know if you brought it to me, I can't remember. But the 1619 project would have us just really
This is
burning up those
whew.
Cisco phones. We were hitting those IMs like, bro, you listen to episode
Whew.
two? Like, that's crazy. And so I
Nicole Hannah
think,
Jones, we love you.
yes, oh, that would be, I'm gonna put this in the universe and put it right. I would love to have her as like a guest. She would be my
That'd be
dream
awesome.
guest. And I probably would just be like, can you just talk? Because I don't know if I
Please,
can find a question to ask you and
please.
just edify me.
I'm,
Because, girl, so from our lips to God's ears, come on. Uh,
I've gone down every rabbit trail that has her name
right.
attached to it. So
God. So just because this is cosigns and tangents, we're gonna talk about your rabbit trail. Because I remember I would hit you up and be like, I said, "What you doing?" Working and listen to another Nicole Hannah Jones interview.
yeah,
I was like, "Oh my God, I think you are just fan boiling all over her. I think
I
you
love her.
probably listened to everything that she
Yes,
put out."
I, I asked for that book for last Christmas, and I love that lady. So yeah, I'm all
Yeah,
about
she's
Nicole Hannah Jones.
yeah, no, she's amazing. So yes, I'm gonna have her on my podcast one day. Yep, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
say it. Um, dang, okay. The point I was gonna make because of
Hmm.
slavery, I
Hmm.
feel that be, everything is a generational trauma response. So
Mm.
like not being able to emote is one of the things that we weren't allowed to have. We weren't able to have to question our surroundings. We weren't
Hmm.
able to cry. And so I think those have definitely been generational things that have been passed on, not
Mm.
only in Black communities, but in white communities too, because they didn't get set up for success, like having that
Yeah,
background. Even well,
yeah.
no, that's a lie because they have because at least monetarily successful, but
Mm.
emotionally and spiritually and they're not set up for success when it comes to having a good mental hold on life, I don't think. So I felt like now our generation is trying to have the emotions that our ancestors could have to actually finish out my thought. And
That's
so I'm
powerful.
seeing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we always fail to realize that two things can exist at once. You can have God and have religion too, and talk about
Hmm.
your feelings and
Hmm.
emote. And but I think it's also just harder for men right now, anyway. So that's why I have this. I have a podcast talking to men because it was a thing that I saw on TikTok where men were like, "People don't care about emotions." And I
Mm.
was like, that's not true. And my brother actually said the same thing. So that's why I was like, no, well, if you feel like that, I'm definitely going to prove you wrong because I care. But I think we also, but I also think we need to have these conversations and have safe spaces for men as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. What was your question now?
I don't know. I was just talking. It's a tangent, baby. I just started talking and I forgot the whole point. My problem is that I'm super comfortable with you, so I feel like you know my whole brain, and I'm just gonna talk, and we're just chit chat.
Okay, sorry. So I'm for the people who don't know, I'm very black and white. So like,
That's
if
true. I
something is
forgot. I forgot. He is an analytical man.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, wait, is there a question? Because I don't want to miss anything. Because I'm just, yeah, that's how my brain
Oh, he
works.
listens to me too. Like I be, I remember I brought up something random, and he remembered it. I was like, "Oh, you listen to me? I just be talking."
I do, I do. I mean, you listen to me, so yeah, that's like
That's
it's
true.
supposed
I
to.
guess that's friendship.
Yeah, reciprocity, right?
Right. You just, oh, that's my favorite word. Ew, 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 ew. Anyway. Okay. So basically, what I was trying to say, I think, is just, I honestly don't know. Damn it. I fucked up. I fucked up.
Well, we talked
Well,
about
I'm
sixteen,
probably going to
19, and you
16,
talking about how
19.
we kind of started bonding, like based on that. And I thought you said something about, um, oh, you were just saying like black people being able to emote
Hmm.
um, after, well, yeah, after slavery. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else. I guess it was just a thought
I
you
think it
had.
was a
But
thought. It
okay.
was a tangent thought.
Oh,
But now I
the
forgot where I was going with it. But I'm glad that you do you feel that it's easier for you to actually emote with your as a man now, or do you still have trouble having those emotions?
that's a good question. That's a really good question.
I knew
Because
I
I
was gonna
asked
bring it
myself,
back.
like I asked myself this a few like 2 years ago actually, um,
Okay.
because I think society makes you feel like you can't necessarily cry. And I had
Mm,
like something traumatic happen to me like 2 years ago, and I was
mm,
like, oh, I just started crying. I was like, oh no, this is really sad. Like I should be crying, but like a part of me, like of course, so I cried at home, but then I also cried like in public.
mm.
And it was the cry in public where I was just like, oh, should I be doing this like in public?
Ooh, right.
So it was one of those things where like I had to self assess and be like, I mean, who cares what society thinks? I'm
Mhm,
not really concerned with that. Like I'm trying to cope with what's happening to me, and not
mhm,
necessarily be concerned with what society, uh, how they define like what was considered manly.
mhm.
So but yeah, no, so I don't know if it's easier for me to cry in public. I don't know, or just to
Well,
emote
just like,
rather.
yeah, just because it does. Because I feel like people always think that if you have to show emotion, it has to be public. But are you able to like have private moments
Yeah, I think
of
so.
emotions? Because I think even some men don't even allow themselves that opportunity. Some women don't even allow themselves the opportunity to cry. They
Mm,
just, we suck up our upper or our suck up our lips or whatever, upper lip, and just keep on going.
yeah,
Tough lip and
I'm.
just keep on going.
I think I'm very emotive. Like I mean, I smile a lot. I laugh a lot. I mean, those are things that I just naturally do. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I think I express myself like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like I'm still on the fence about like crying in public. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, or like you said, even in private. But
Hmm.
um, I'm comfortable with myself doing that. I did learn that about myself. Like I'm comfortable
Right.
doing that. So,
So, because you said about like the manly, so what is your, because I know like
whew,
you said the society's definition of manliness. So how did you ever have any struggles with fitting into that society mode, or did you
mm,
decide to make your own vision of it?
ooh,
Like, what do
that's
you?
really good.
Because I feel like
Hmm.
the society tells men to be this way, but like, how are you deciding to show your manliness?
Yeah, and I'm still even trying to figure out what that even looks like what
Hmm.
manliness looks like. I yeah, I don't think I fit into society's like definition of what a man is. I mean, here I'm a person who I'm not into sports like that. So I remember growing up, or I mean, even heck, even to present, like people are just like, "Hey, so what do you think about that game?" I'm just like, "Yep, I'm indifferent. It means nothing to me." Like, but like that's like one of the that's a it is like that's one like that's a bonding thing for men, and that's like
Hmm.
normally the first thing that you would normally say like, "Hey, who's your team?" or whatever. And I've just always been like, "Yep, so yeah, I don't watch sports."
Like,
But
how about
I
them?
used to run track. I used
You
to
used
run
to run
track, so
track?
like I did. So like I would be more prone to like discuss that. But even then, like I'm not even like running. I mean, I'm not watching like track uh meets or whatever or competition. Wait, tournaments. Wait, what do you call them? I'm not watching like
Well, I think
not
the
tournaments, but
meets.
like yeah, I'm
Meets?
not watching track meets. But yeah, I'm not watching
You
them.
done forgot. You done
Yeah,
forgot.
I know. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, I used
It's
to be
okay.
on them streets.
Mm, out in them running streets. Okay,
On them
so
running
this is a
streets.
tangent. So since you used to run track, because I think you told me, or I just knew that you was running, but I never actually equated to you actually liking like track
Yeah.
or like team sports. So what did you think about Shakari? This is so old, but what did you
Oh.
feel about Shakari Richardson when they gave her shit for smoking weed or just any general thoughts about that? And if you, because I feel like we kept up with that. I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel so bad for her. I mean, I know, especially now with the previous Olympics that happened when I think there was a white girl who had
It was a
taken,
Russian. Mm,
yeah, she had taken drugs that were shown to enhance performance, but then
mm-hmm.
marijuana doesn't do that. So when they allow her to run, the white Russian to run, and then Shikari not to even be able to compete. That was, I mean, black women. I love y'all. Y'all really have it hard. I really, it's just another thing that I could see how badly black women are treated, and it was sad. I mean,
Yeah.
I lamented with her. That was hard. I mean, I know she was going through a lot too with her. Like, I think she lost her mom or something like that.
Yeah, like the when she won that race that qualified her for the Olympics, she literally lost her mom like the day before or the week of,
Yeah.
and she still managed to run the race and smoke everybody and just kill it. And I was like, she's like, I'm stressed out. The part that got me that gets me about conversations like that is just how black people respond to it. Because like the one thing black people we are definitely not a monolith. Like as you can
Right.
tell from how we express our opinions. And so
Hmm.
it was just like it was either shame on her or nothing, or she was like stressed out. And it makes me mad that people are just like, she should have known better. I get it, she broke a rule, but I'm just like, y'all, we do not get the same treatment.
Yeah. Because I
We
mean,
do
it's the
not
same
get the
thing
same
with.
treatment.
You're right. I mean, talk about treatment. I mean, I'm thinking of Will Smith. I mean,
Yep.
I that whole situation, like I
The
felt
slap.
really bad for Jada still. Like I'm still like I feel like Will was defending his wife, so maybe the slap shouldn't have happened on national television. I don't necessarily know if I
Hmm.
would have done that. Who knows what I would have done? But like in terms of like the repercussions from that one slap, which in comparison to like these other like directors who have won Oscars and haven't been banned,
Hmm.
but they've done much worse things than Will
Right.
Smith. It's a slap in the face. So like the treatment is never the same as it is for like some of these other um, people, and that's the world we live in. It really, yeah, that sucks. It
The
does.
unfairness.
It's
Because I was gonna
unfairness.
try to save this topic for later, so I'm glad. Let's talk about it because the slap was the slap that we everyone heard across the world.
Yeah, heard across the
Like the
world.
Oscars,
Absolutely.
right? And the Oscars that year was real good. It was real black. It was
Yeah.
real diverse. It was like
Hmm.
it had people who were speaking, who were hearing impaired winning. We had black people winning. Questlove. We had Megan Thee Stallions doing. They don't know about Bruno, or we don't speak about Bruno. It was great. And then the slap was it seems like it just the main focus
I know.
on
It
it.
overshadowed everything.
It really did. So so like you said, you don't think he should have did it, right? Shouldn't have hit
Yeah.
the shouldn't have said. I agree, and I feel like we're both on the same mind that the repercussions are stupid
Yeah.
and really
10,
unfair.
10 years being banned.
10-year bans.
That's ridiculous, y'all.
I
So
right.
that's trash.
I feel like we all need to write some strongly worded letters, okay, and some strongly worded letters, and get him because I respect maybe a 1-year ban, hell, even 2 years, but ten
Yeah.
years. This man's
It's
gonna be like
ridiculous.
65 before he can come back to the Oscars.
Yeah, it's
And I,
nonsensical.
it's just, and he just won one. Finally won
Yeah,
his first Oscar
yeah.
after being snubbed so many times. And and it's just so unfair because, like you were
Hmm.
talking about, how there's so many other people who've done worse things,
Hmm.
and they don't show up to Oscars because some of them are running from the law. Let's be real.
Right.
Okay. So, how do you feel though? There's like how do you feel about Jada? Do you think she's a victim in the situation? Or, as I've been looking at like the little videos about her, I'm starting to believe that she maybe has some narcissistic tendencies.
I mean,
And I hate to talk about that because she's a black woman and I'm like, protect black women at all costs. However, there's still a level of accountability that black women still have to have. Like, we can't play the victim and then ask everybody else to have accountability when we don't take accountability for our actions.
so, so I hear you. I mean, but put the narcissism aside. A joke made about something that you cannot change still makes you a
Mm,
victim. Like I can't change the
mm,
fact that my hair, like if I were in her situation, that my hair doesn't grow. But like if he would have made a joke about her dress or something like that, that's like I can change. You can change what you can change your attire. I can't
mm.
change the fact that I have alopecia. So
True.
throw the whole joke away. Like you should not have rehearsed that, and because of that, I think she's a victim. Like
Mm,
if I, as a male, especially if I was married, I would have definitely been propelled to like, I mean, compelled to walk up on that stage. I may not have slapped him, but like, he would have got a definite like push or something
hmm
because
Some
you were talking about your wives.
right. And you make a valid point because, again, it was a medical condition. And I did say this at the beginning of the slap that we need to give everybody grace and compassion. Because
Hmm.
what if Chris Rock knew, because they're industry leaders in the Black community and in
Hmm.
Hollywood, what if he knows like even deeper stuff about like what's going on with Jada? And he decided to still take a joke at her, and knowing there's some physical ailment that she has, because she could have cancer and be calling it alopecia right now,
Yeah,
and just because she
yeah,
doesn't want the world to know. Because let's look up Chadwick Boseman, because he
yeah.
was literally getting eaten alive by cancer, and he gave us like
Killed.
6 movies,
Yeah, bangers.
and he bangers all day, and
Yeah,
it didn't tell not a soul but his wife and his family.
yeah.
So I agree, but then there was another video that I saw about Jada.
I mean,
I,
those. I'm just saying those things may be
I
true. I'm
right.
not even like discounting that, but I'm just talking about like honestly, just keeping it on that joke. I just think it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
And
And it
if we
wasn't
are talking,
rehearsed.
yeah, and you're right. That wasn't a joke that they ran by anybody, but it just shouldn't have been made. I mean, and then I've heard a lot of people say that when he even like made reference to GI Jane, that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people didn't even know what he was talking about. So I was like, even the joke wasn't good. Like it fell flat. That movie is so
Yes,
old. Like
I
I don't even know,
know.
middle
That's
school. Like I don't know.
right. I never, and honestly, I didn't watch it because I'm not like a
Me
huge
either.
Demi Moore fan. So it was like somebody was talking, I was listening to the read and they were talking about, they were like, and the joke was bad. Like, the joke was stupid. It landed flat. People got more jokes after he got slapped. I mean, more laughs after Chris Rock got slapped than it was for that whole joke.
Yeah, that
So
slap was it was. Whew. I mean, seeing these
that slap
pictures
was
of
real.
Will Smith like wind his hand up the way he did, in the manner that he did,
He
and
did.
I think that's probably what it is. Like I think people were more shocked at how, because I mean it was fury behind that slap. Like
Yeah.
he was furious about that
Hmm.
joke. Because like normally if you slap somebody, at least when you're playing, it's like a I'm not doing all that. I'm not winding it up like that. But
Hmm.
he
No,
he
right.
was guided by the
he
ancestors.
Right. He put that momentum because this is how I feel. Okay. So before the Jada stuff, and I
Yeah.
know that I have a majority of women who listen to my podcast. I'm not anti Black women, you guys, but I am for Black women accountability. So, with that being said, I did appreciate the slap. Okay, I really did. Oh, because I'm glad he didn't slap a white man because it'd been way worse. Oh
Ooh,
God, he probably
good grief.
literally
Could you
been
imagine?
like, oh, I would like his career's over. His career's over.
Yeah,
I think his career's
he
over.
would have been blackballed.
Right. Exactly. But I was actually proud of him for doing it to a black
Okay.
man because black men, there's some black men out there that talk disparaging of black women. And I
Hmm.
feel like that's how black men who ride for black women should treat black men that talk shit of black women. Like black men should be getting, and same thing with black women. Like I don't talk disparagingly about black men. And I
Yeah.
feel like if I hear a black woman just being like, black men are shit, shit, da, 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 I'll be like, hey, sis, calm down. Don't talk about, because you're doing a sweeping generalization. And that's not
Yeah.
cool. You've had bad
Never.
experiences with
Yeah.
black men, doesn't mean that all black men are trash. That's not the
Yeah.
case. So when he did that, I was like, yeah, that's what we need to do. That I feel like black men around the world should be weary that they keep talking shit about black
Man.
women, that a black man is gonna smack the shit out of him and tell him,
And
calm down. You talking
and if I'm
about the mother of you.
yeah. But
And
I don't
so
know though. Like I think in the black community, I think you don't have to say that. Like it's just one of those things. Like it's always like black men. Heck, we used to even if you're talking about your mama as a kid, black men
mhm.
or even girls are just like, oh no, you're not talking about my mama. Like you ready to fight.
Oh
And I
yeah.
feel like you don't have to. That's something I don't have to explain as a black person. Like not to talk ill of my wife, especially in my presence. And then another thing I
Mhm.
thought about with Chris Rock, I was like, because you always hear about people talking about comedians and like in specifically, they always talk about how they are operating or have operated from like they've been operating from trauma, like some type of bad past or
Uh
whatever.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
it makes me wonder, like, is he subconsciously, like, if he didn't even realize that he was kind of jealous of Will and Jada because his marriage
Mhm.
didn't work out? Because I'm just like, why would you
Mm.
even like? I just don't understand why you would even go there. It makes no sense. And
Yeah.
I can always just like overanalyze stuff. But I thought about that.
He's
I'm just like, why would he even do that? It made no sense to even
right.
bring her up. So
And the conversations are like, because again, I was talking to someone about it. Like, I felt like there were three camps. They were like, man, four wheel not doing it, and
yeah.
also mad that Will slapped him knowing that Jada cheated on him. And people are
Mm,
like, oh, why is he protecting the woman that cheated on him? I was like, that has no difference. They've decided to be together and to be married,
yeah.
and that's his wife. And you
Yeah.
stick with your people to
Yeah.
thick and thin.
Yeah.
Now, that gets to me into another thing about Jada. I'm mad at Jada. Okay. Because
Tell us how you feel.
apparently uh, she said, I didn't tell him to go up there and do that. I was like, bitch, you could have just, you could have
Oh,
just
no,
stood
that's
by your man, honey. Just be like, stand by him. Be publicly, be like, hey,
united.
I'm united. And she said, I don't need nobody to protect me. Bitch, we're trying to get people to protect us because they don't.
Goodness, I didn't know she said that. And
Yes. I was like,
okay,
damn,
because
Jada, get
I
your.
need context. So when you watch when you watch
Okay,
that
so
video, was she in that same dress? Like they interviewed her after that happened? Because
okay,
people like
so
they
I,
straight
I
try to like splice videos.
right, I read the article about it. That's all. And so
Okay.
I'm trying to keep my firm opinions until Red Table Talk. But it was like in the article, she discussed that she's like, I didn't ask him to do that. I'm mad that he did it,
Hmm.
and they both think he overreacted. And also that I'm 57 and I don't need protection. I was like,
Mm.
godly bitch. Okay. I need you. I wish she would have just, because in my head, I would have, of course, been like, if it was me, I would have said, baby, don't do it. First off, I'm like, if you go and he would have been like, baby, I need to talk to him. Be like, look, don't hit him, don't do it. You know, we don't know what happened between the laugh, the eye roll, and him walking up the stage. That's one thing we don't know. There's a missing perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in my head, as a person, I would have been like, I'm going to be for my man, my husband. I'm going to support him. And like, he was protecting me.
Yeah,
And I think Black women need to be protected. Considering we
I
have
agree.
Breonna Taylor, we
Hmm.
have Sandra Bland.
Hmm.
Black women are dying by the hands of police.
Hmm.
I felt like that could have been honestly, and then we got Black trans women dying by the hands of Black men.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was like, it's an opportunity to have a conversation about how Black women need to be protected. How one of the most higher echelon women in Black Hollywood is not even protected by Black Hollywood
Mm.
and by another Black actor. And my husband
Yeah,
had to come up and protect me.
yeah.
Honestly, I wish that's how she would have played it. And you can
I,
be mad in private all you want to, but you have that
yeah,
united front in public because this is such a nuanced issue that I don't think a lot of white Hollywood needs to talk about. I think Black
I
Hollywood
agree.
has a big stake in this.
Yeah,
So that
I,
is how I feel. And so
hey,
when James said that's like, dumb bitch, we could have had this good conversation. I was so
this is this is not we're not in good company to be talking about this in public.
exactly. Like people are so worried about the respectability politics about like not hitting somebody in front of white people. No, I don't care about that. But I think we need to have a united front about how this is gonna play out. And I wish she would have been like one stand because Black men have he's obviously having a hard time.
Yeah,
Mental
he
health.
is.
Will Smith is having a hard time mentally.
Yeah, and I
And
I
I
just recently
wish
heard that he checked into like a rehab.
what for real?
Yeah, but it was
I
because
love Will
of like
Smith.
you just mentioned, like the emotional distress of everything. So, no, you're right. I mean, mental health is
Yeah.
hey, it's real.
Right. And I feel like that would have been a great time to like for all of us to be like, stand by your man. And I get the violence aspect of it. He should not have done that. Admonish him like he should not have
Hmm.
done it, but I'm thankful that he decided to protect me in that way.
Yeah,
All Black
and
women, all women need to be protected, blah, blah,
I
blah, blah,
agree.
blah, and keep on going. But not, bitch, I don't need nobody to protect me. This is the same conversation that we've been trying to calm down on. The strong Black woman is killing Black women
Whew, which I've
emotionally.
learned. I've been hearing that a lot. Yeah,
Hmm.
it makes so much sense though. It really does.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a big tangent. I get so mad at Jada.
I mean, I definitely feel what you're saying. I do think
Yeah.
people have to realize too that like men, like that's one of those things. Like you are just a natural protector,
Yeah.
so you don't always think. I mean, I know I've made decisions not thinking, but it's just like one of those things that you just kind of going off of what your body's telling you to do. And in that situation,
Hmm.
his body said, "I'm about to slap her. You know what?" and
Right.
he slapped him.
He sure
That's what
did.
he felt like he was protecting his wife, and that's what he did. And you can
Hmm.
regret that. I mean, like you said, I don't think he should have done that. Maybe not on national TV, but something.
Not on
I don't know. I
national
feel like
TV. I
something
would have
needed to
took that to
happen
the.
though.
That
The
I
after
think he
party.
for. Right. The after party would have been lit. I would have been like, or backstage. I would call
Yeah,
homeboy in the bathroom. Like,
yeah.
hey, bro.
Like been waiting on him on the side when he finished that
Right.
whack joke, and met him on
Right.
the side. Yeah.
Or if he would have just been like, "Hey, keep my wife's name out your mouth," that would have been even. That would have been chef's kiss. And then he probably could have been like, "Let me talk to you, homeboy." Smacked him up in the bathroom and walked away. Or they could have had some trouble in the elevator. Something not
Hey.
public.
Hey, you're right.
With $1 billion on the elevator. Okay, let's go
Hey,
ahead and quote Her Highness Beyonce, who killed that
Queen
rapper.
B.
Queen Bee. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get back on track. I want to go since we in the world of entertainment. I'm
Yeah.
going to ask you a couple questions,
Okay.
and because I like this part anyway. What are we watching on Netflix or any other streaming accounts?
Mm. What am I watching? I'm watching. Wait, I just finished watching The Green Knight, which
Oh,
the verdict
okay.
the verdict is still out on that. I don't really. I like a lot of action. You know, it's about me. I need I need an end game type of movie where I can just
Mm,
you have this crisis and it's solved. It's
right.
crisis averted. Like so I need
Mm-hmm.
that. Wait, what was I was watching something. Let me get my phone. That'd be better.
You need that
'Cause
escapism.
yeah, you do need it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was watching because I feel like I was watching something on HBO Max. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. Oh well, yeah, Black Lady Sketch Show. Definitely watching
Oh
that, which has
yes.
been super
Mm-hmm.
lit. I just started watch. Well, yeah, I started watching The King's Man. Wait, no, my bad, not that. It was. It's on. It's also on HBO Max. It's kind of like a. It's DC, which I'm not really a big fan of DC, but
Mm.
this movie is based on Alfred. So Batman's, I guess sidekick. I don't
Oh,
know, or
Pennyworth.
butler. Yeah, Pennyworth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been
Oh,
watching that.
okay.
I think that's really good. Um, what else have I been watching? Oh, I tried to watch DMZ, which I,
Mhm.
that just was not hitting at all.
Really, it
So I
looks
gotta.
good.
It looks so good, but like I hate
It might
anything
be.
that like where your budget is just not good, and it just
Oh, it
really
looks low
shows.
budget. Uh-oh.
Yeah, to me it did. It was really giving like The Walking Dead, like first season.
Early season. Oh no.
Yeah,
They had
I'm like I
like
just
about
need
five zombies.
right. I need some more CGI and stuff. So
Right.
watching that, I
Mm.
finished watching Love Is Blind. Um,
Can we talk about
uh,
Love is Blind?
yeah,
Ne-
of course, of course.
Okay, so who? Okay, we already know we're gonna talk about Shake. Shake was trash. So, but who?
Throw
What
them
couple
away.
was your favorite couple?
My favorite couple was um, the black couple. What's her name? With the
Uh, Jared and Ayana.
yes, Jared and
Okay,
Iona.
I was definitely
Po-
having a Issa Rae
Post
moment.
Mallory. Sorry, post Mallory. Because
Oh
Jared was
yes,
not my
Post Mallory.
yeah, he was not my favorite in the beginning. I thought he was super trash, but he seemed to have like grown up some. So
Hmm.
yeah, they're my favorite couple for sure.
And that was another moment where I was like, protect black women at all costs. Because I'm saying, oh my God, if he hurts Ayana,
I know it's like why we feel that way.
she's.
Like you said, it's
Hmm.
I wanted to protect her.
I was like, she was, but I was like you. I was rooting for everyone black. I was rooting for everyone, really, people of color. I definitely, I was rooting for Shake and DT
I know I was
because I
too.
was like, oh, okay, he's changing. He's actually being open, showing the fact that his obsession with physical appearance is just based on his Americanized view of beauty. And he's down. Like when he met her, he was like all about her. And then when they went on their honeymoon, he in that pool looking crazy. I was like, come on, Shake Shack. What the heck? DT and Shake, I was rooting
Yeah,
for everybody of color. I was
yeah,
hoping that DT and Shake were going to make it because he was getting over his, Americanized standards of beauty.
yeah.
But when he met her the first time and then in the pool, that's when I was like, oh no, he ain't done. He ain't done
I
being a whole
know.
fool.
And you could see it because, like you said, when he was in the pool, his demeanor changed. But like when he
Mm-hmm.
saw her, when he was like when they were first revealed to each other, he was. I feel like he really was into her, and
Me
like he was
too.
grabbing her and like touching her butt and
Kissing
stuff.
her.
And yeah, like he was
Yeah,
really. It looked passionate to me.
it
And
looked
then
passionate.
and whew, he was so wrong to even have any kind of like sideways feelings like against her because
Mhm.
when he decided to take his shirt off and
Right.
get in the pool and then have those same thoughts, yeah, throw him away. Because, sir, you don't get to talk like that. I mean, you don't get to talk like that in general, but like if you're not really bringing nothing to the table, like you bring in a beer belly, nah, bruh,
Hmm.
nah, it's a no.
He was he was giving very much odd body. So
But Deepti was killing it. That's why I was like, dude, do
yeah,
you know what
she
you
was
are
full.
like looking at? She's beautiful. Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
I was like, for someone who's given odd body, given badly built, giving drinking duck beer, he
Yeah,
definitely didn't have no place to talk. I'm
I
like, you
agree.
ain't bringing, like you said, he ain't bringing nobody to the table. He bringing
At all.
career, but bachelor pad, but nothing to the table.
Yeah. But I'm saying, especially, but if these things really matter to you, right? Like you are all
Hmm.
about the physical, but you are really lacking. Like there's a deficit on your part.
Hmm.
Uh, you can't have those same standards, and for you to have that is really lame. Like it's super lame.
Right.
And I actually checked out after that because I was just like, yeah, he's playing. Like why? Because I watched some. Well, I watched some of the reunion with you,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I kind of felt like he was on the wrong show because
yeah.
he was looking for something else, and it wasn't Love Is Blind.
Right. But the thing is, he knew. I think reason why he picked that show because he knew he couldn't make it on no other show that's based on looks.
That's a good point. That's a
When you
very good
think
point.
about it, because I'm like, he wouldn't be. He ain't Bachelor material. He's not even Love Island material. He's Love
Yeah,
and Blind material. Fall in love with my shitty personality and hope you love me at the end. So he should have known better. He must think
that's a good
he looked
point.
better than he does.
That's a good
Honestly, now
point. He does.
now that I think about it, I'm like, you ain't giving Indian. He ain't giving Kumail Nanjiani from the Eternals now. Not it's not Kumail. That's another guy. But he
Oh
ain't
yeah,
giving the Asian dude from the Eternals.
yeah, yeah. And I think the
He
dude
got
got
his
jacked for
body
that.
all the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
got
got his
jacked for
body
that.
all the way right. So unless you talking like that, homie, you need to get back. But yeah, I was very happy. I was happy when DT said, "No, thank you. You don't deserve
So
me." I
was
was
I.
like, "Yes,
And
sis, get it."
I agree because when she walked down the aisle, like a part of me wanted her to say yes, but then old dude was toxic. Like he was really toxic. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm glad that she kind of built it up and then
right,
said no. So
right.
yeah, I'm with you.
And And I'm glad that they didn't show it on TV, but I'm glad that the other people had her back. That made me happy to know that they had her
Yeah,
back enough
me
to
too.
tell her like, "Oh, this is trash. Don't marry him." And I wish they actually would have showed that a little bit more, just because it felt like they were all conspiring against her. Because he will talk about it at the beginning and middle of every episode.
Yeah, he would.
I was like, "Oh, trash." Okay,
Very much
so
so.
we talked about TV. So you kind of already hit up one of my questions. You are not a DC fan, so you're obviously a Marvel. So
Yeah.
have you watched Moon Knight yet?
I have not watched Moonlight. So when it comes to like Disney Plus, like series, I kind of like
Mhm.
to watch them like maybe 4 episodes because don't they always come out like once a week or something like that?
Yeah, they making us try to actually like watching TV one at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look,
No,
I don't need you trying to tell me what to do with my TV
I
watching.
don't. I need it to still be on demand. Yeah.
Right. I need it all. I decide if I'm going to sit here for 10 hours.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
decide it. Or two
Right.
hours. Like
Two hours.
yeah, like I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so I will watch it. It looks good.
Okay.
I would probably end up watching, yeah, like 2 episodes, and then
Okay.
watching 2 more episodes after that,
Well,
and till
I,
it's
I
finished.
okay. Well, I won't talk about it because it is good. So I'm just gonna because I cannot not say a spoiler. It just always happens.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for not spoiling it.
Well, I appreciate. I'm learning. I'm trying to set that boundary for myself and respect other people's boundaries. Okay.
Come on,
All right.
girl.
So right, growth, emotional, and spoilerish. No, okay, so I got one more because we were just kidding on about the end. So I'm
Okay.
going to ask you my favorite question. I love to ask all my
Yeah.
guests.
Uh-oh. What's
Well,
this?
two questions. Two,
Uh-oh.
and it's going back into kind of like our emotional conversation.
Okay.
If you, and this is when you hear this question, you'll laugh. If you could go back in time,
Oh, that's triggering.
I know, but we're not talking about because in one of my previous podcasts, I did talk about how like No black people want to go back in time. Okay, nobody.
No.
No. But this is on the emotional level. If you can go
Okay.
back in time and talk to Philip younger self, what would you tell Philip younger self? How would
Mm,
you? Because I feel like we're all, especially us millennials, we're all just reliving with the uprising like nostalgia. We're all just trying to really like love on our inner child. And
yeah.
so, if you could, is there something you would go back and tell young Philip to help him
Man,
out?
that is a very good question. Man, the only thing that's like really the only thing that's sticking out to me right now is uh it's actually college. It's not even like that's well, I mean, well, I've been out of college almost longer than 10 years, so I guess it is a younger me. But the thing that's sticking out right now is I remember graduating or preparing to graduate undergrad,
Mhm.
and somebody told me, no, you should go ahead and just like work, get a couple years under your belt, and then go back to grad school if you want to. But like, why even go to grad school? And I remember working. I did exactly that. So I graduated, worked for a couple of years, like 7 years actually, and then went back to grad school. And I was like, that was actually the like I don't have many regrets, but like I do have that as a regret. I'm like I should have done what I thought I did I wanted to do, and that was to like finish undergrad and then go into to graduate school. Just because that gap is just for me at least, it was too much time. But
Mm.
I think that would have helped speed things up a little bit in terms of just like career. Like I don't necessarily know if I would have been at Unum had I gone to graduate school after undergrad. But that's like the thing that's like really sticking out right now to me. But yeah, I definitely would tell myself, no, don't listen to this person. Go to grad school.
Mine in colleges don't take chemistry.
Don't take chemistry. See,
Yes, I was like, I'm not gonna do this.
See, I knew that about myself. I knew, and chemistry has never been like my strong suit, even in high school. And so when I got to undergrad, we had the choice of taking environmental science or chemistry, and that's how I became like a tree hugger. Is because of
Oh,
my environmental science class.
I didn't know you were a tree hugger. We
Man,
could have been out here hugging trees. I love trees. I
I'm all
climbed a
about the
tree
earth.
2 weeks.
Did
That's
you?
I climbed. It was a small tree, but I climbed it.
Hey, it's a tree. That's what we used to do when we were
I
younger.
right. I didn't. I've never climbed a tree because I could like I didn't have the upper body strength, so I've never really climbed a tree before.
Yeah.
I was like so happy, and I looked and I recorded myself, and I was like, I climbed a tree.
Did you put it on TikTok?
No, that was just for me. No,
Oh,
actually, no, I did. I did do it. I put it on my Instagram as one of my and one of my memories for the day. But
oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Congratulations.
I know, right? I'm so excited. My childhood is like, oh, I climb a tree.
I used to love a tree, man. I'm telling you. I've
Right.
fallen off many a tree too.
Oh, okay. See, I was okay. So I did get hit in the head with the branch when I was trying to
Oh,
climb.
but you made it. You made
I
it.
made it though. I was like, it didn't deter me. It was like, nah, bitch. I was like, nah, I'm gonna climb this tree today. Okay. All right. So my last question, and this
Hmm.
is so when did you fall
Mm.
in love with your blackness?
Whew. Come on with the questions. Um, it was definitely later in life. I would say after college, but like
Mhm.
even more so, like I became more militant about it after the 1619 project.
The
I was like, we
1619 project had us upset,
it
uproar.
did. I mean, but then it also helped me like realize like the contributions that we made to
Yeah.
America, and because of that, it just made me fall in love with just being black too. And
Yeah.
yeah, I really was like, yeah, we lit. But yeah, it was
Hmm.
I would definitely say after college for sure, where I like like fell in love with my blackness. But I really, yeah, I've always felt like we were kind of lit anyway. I feel like
But it's
society tells you otherwise, but no, you kind of know it.
right. Right. I love that quote the girl did on TikTok or Instagram. She said, I love being black. It's kind of dangerous, but it be lit though. Love it. Like, yeah.
I, need,
Yeah.
I need that tattooed.
Slick or black. It's like it be lit and just that's it.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good quote.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate her for that. She needs to go into the Encyclopedia of Blackness or something as like top 10 quotes of the
Yeah,
generation.
please. Let's canonize her, please.
Yes, I'm gonna put this definitely. I'm gonna put that in the description. I love being black. It's kind of dangerous, but it be lit though.
I'm here for
Yes. Well, Philip, as always, I think this is where we come to end our show.
it. No.
Um, I don't know. Do you have any thing you want to promote, or any final words that you want to enlighten the people with?
Uh, if you see me in the street, honk. No, I'm just joking.
He said, if you see a tall dreadhead running in the streets of Tennessee, just
And
say
maybe
what
in
up
Ohio
though.
soon.
Oh, yep, in Ohio, be like, what up though? Oh, you don't have to give me your tracking so I can make sure you're okay. Because I don't. Well, Ohio actually don't got no people in it, so you should be fine.
Yeah, not my college town.
Not yeah, yeah. Your college town should be fine. Like, but just in case, we need to watch you, track you for the first couple of weeks. Oh, you fine, you fine.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah,
Let
I'll
me
do
know when
that.
you're running. Okay, cool. Just let me know when you're going out for a run. That way I can make sure track you on Google Maps.
No, that's all right. Hey, no, I'm going to do that for real. Shoot.
Slick. Yeah, go. I didn't get no iPhone for nothing. Go ahead and share your
Show my location. Yep.
share your location. We home.
That's so
Well,
true. I'm gonna do that.
I'm just proud of you, and I'm thankful to have you as one of my best friends.
Oh, thank you.
And
Likewise.
uh, and I'm just so excited for you being, Philip pre PhD to soon to be Philip, Dr. Philip. He said he ain't gonna let people call him that, but I'm gonna call him that. Because you earned it. Okay. I'm gonna celebrate you if you ain't gonna celebrate. Well, that's not saying that you're not gonna celebrate. Anyway, that would be a tangent. I'm
Yeah, it is a
proud of
tangent.
you.
Thank
Right. I'm
you.
proud of you. I'm thankful for you. And I'm just
Hey,
so thankful for your time. And as always, everyone who is listening, you've listened to your girl Saina Win with Cosines and Tangents featuring Philip, pre PhD. And as always, I love you guys and bye bye.
bye.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Okay.
I
That
feel like
was
we didn't talk
fun.
about every. I looked at the phone. I think when it had ended, and I was like, "Dang, it's
Mhm.
already been an hour."
Yeah, the hour goes by so fast.
They go by
That's
so
why I was.
fast.
But that was fun. I felt like we were just talking, and like we were back on the phone, and it just made me happy.
Yeah, no, it did feel like a conversation. I mean, I wasn't nervous. I was like, "Oh, this is like normal."
Right. This is just us recording one of our many tangents
Right.
that
I
we
was
have
like,
on the
yeah.
real life.
So I was like, yeah,
Um,
it's just a normal conversation.
exactly. You said Unum one, so I'm gonna go back and take it out, and but
Oh
that's
my
about
gosh, I
it.
said Unum for real. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
even
so
realize that.
said. I was like, oh no. But you said like eight
Oh,
minutes in, so I realized it. I was like, oh, we'll keep take that out.
okay. My
You still
bad.
work there, right?
I sure did. And four
Oh,
more
but
months.
thing was right, and we didn't say nothing bad about you. Though we just talked about how much we were talk about racism at work, but
Okay.
that's just
Yeah.
general. But we didn't really go that deep, so I will make sure to edit that part out.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad you caught
Yeah.
that because I sure didn't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, oh man, I said I'm just joking. It don't matter. But it does.
Hey,
I just know that you don't. You probably don't want nobody from to hear you talk about
yeah. No.
Okay. Do you have a picture that you want me to use, or do you want me to just? Oh, you actually have a lot of pictures on Facebook. So send me a picture of one of your favorite pics.
Okay.
And do you have a bio?
I do not have a bio. Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just make something up there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going. I was like, I'm probably going to end up pulling a picture from. Like, do I have a recent picture?
Because I have a picture that I took of you on your birthday last year, but it's kind of like I already edited. And I always just
Okay.
gives you pictures of you like smiling with I got pictures of you in my phone with Abby. Oh, cute lady. I love Abby. Yeah.
That's so
But
funny.
yeah, if you just have a
Oh,
picture you want to use, I'll do this.
okay.
And yeah, and I'll put it out. I'm excited about this. I just loved because it was just so natural.
No, it was like I was like, are we? I almost forgot a couple times. I'm like, wait, this is not a regular phone call. This is a
Right. I did too.
podcast.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I thought it went. Yeah, I thought it went really good. I felt
Yeah,
comfortable.
good.
So.
Well, I have taken your podcast virginity, as Portia said. And
When she said that, I literally laughed out loud.
I was like, okay.
She was funny.
Oh,
Like she was
she
y'all were
was.
really good. I was That's one of my
She
favorite
was,
ones.
me too. She was so easy to talk to. I
I
love
could
that
tell.
one and Yamana's. Yamana's was so good. She just talked a lot. She talked about the mother wounds and the inner child work, and we just had a good vibe too.
Wait, which one was that?
The one I just put out last Tuesday.
Oh, okay, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I started listening to that one, but I think I got off work or something like that. But yeah, I was like, I know there was one I hadn't listened to, but I guess it's that one. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, and then I do next Tuesday. I'm trying to get it like because the read they don't do theirs on Tuesday anymore. So I'm like I'm taking the read spot of entertaining
Oh,
podcasts.
yeah. Have you noticed people like giving you ratings and stuff? Because they know I listen to you on Spotify, I was able to rate it.
Oh, really? Let me see.
Hmm.
I did ask some of my friends to go on there to rate it. I need to do that because and just put and post it on places.
Yeah. Uh-uh.